Hey, welcome back, children of the universe. This is ULC North Ministries, Bible study number 28. Today we're bringing you the news to the letter of the church to Philadelphia from Revelations chapter 3, verses 7 through 13. In part 2, we read the scripture, or part 3? Part 2, we read the scriptures, the actual scripture. And this part is the interpretation and summary. And in case you haven't been following us and you just joined, how we get these interpretations is that we use the Greek and Hebrew lexicon, which takes the words of the Bible back to the original text that was written in so that we can get a better understanding of what the words mean. Right. Now, in some cases, there is no meaning for the words. They just presumed and put English words in, and I did find that in this interpretation, and I'll get to that. I didn't put it in the writing, but I will get to that when we get to it.
Right, you do that in the interpretation anyway.
So anyway, so the interpretation, and today's date is 10/24/2021. So basically this letter is to the minister of the Church of Philadelphia, right?
Right.
You know how you write a letter to, from, and this is pretty much...
the heading.
Yeah, the header, to and from. So, and it's from he that is righteous and real. The term holy and true meant righteous and real. You know, we think of truth and lie, truth and falsehood. So when we hear the word true, we automatically think that's being honest. No, this word true, the word true in this meant real.
That which is not fake.
That which is not fake, not fictitious, but that thing which is real. So this letter is from he that is righteous, meaning does not deceive, and is real.
Stands by what he says.
He holds the key of David to open and to shut. Once he opens it, it cannot be shut. And once he shuts it, it cannot be opened. Now that's a powerful thing. I am he who is righteous and real. I hold the key of David. That when I open something, it stays open. When I close something, it's shut down for good.
Okay, I'm going to play the dummy here because that's kind of confusing. And like, could you use the key to reverse that? Could you shut what's been open with that key?
I would say that the law of physics says so.
Okay,
I'm saying,
like,
I would
wait
say...
Wait a minute. If it's been open, it can't be closed. Can it be reversed by using that same key?
Okay, and the reason why I said the word holy, there was no translation, no word associated to holy by itself. All the words, both in Greek and Hebrew that I checked, meant righteous.
That's what I always assumed holy meant anyways.
What I'm saying is and righteous means a person who does not deceive.
Right, and holiness actually doesn't deceive as far as I remember.
No, and it's true, it's real and true. So in the past few studies, I began with the history of the city. You know how I've been giving you the history? I'm not doing that today, and I'm sorry that I went off format. But today I need to start with the discussion on this mystical key of David. The key of David is first mentioned in the Old Testament book of Isaiah, chapter 22, verse 22. The scripture in Isaiah was referring to the rise of the power of Eliakim, who was later named Jehoiakim, meaning he who God sets up. He ruled Judah for 11 years and led the rebellion against Babylon, but he also realigned himself with Egypt to war against Babylon. I found that out after I wrote this. So that's why I put that in there. Now he was killed and his body was thrown out of the city of Jerusalem and he was buried. Later that night, he was buried by his followers at the gate in the ground at the gate of Jerusalem. I'm unsure of which gate it was, but I'm almost sure it was the west gate.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because you said something earlier. I don't know if I was supposed to say this, but something about this how they took care of the asses when they died.
Yes,
Mind you, I'm talking about the donkey, not
right.
not my rear.
That was basically called an ass's burial. They threw them out, let them sit for a day, and then they buried them at the gates of the city. That's how they did their donkeys. Now, ironically, this brought to mind where Christ got on the donkey and rode through that very gate.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, I dare you to look up that scripture because I didn't go into detail on that. I did not go back just so we was bouncing back and forth across the Bible. I'm just putting out there that it's weird that this scripture concerning the key of David was only mentioned once concerning Eliakim, and Eliakim was a rebel against Babylon, who re-allied himself with Egypt to fight Babylon.
So does Joachim mean rebel?
No, Jehoiakim means he who God sets up.
Okay, that's why.
Meaning he who God establishes.
Okay, I was just making
So-
sure. It's like I got confused.
And then
there
it's
for a
weird, like I said, it's weird that he was given an ass's burial and buried at the very gate that Christ went through on the donkey.
second. So he turned himself into
To Jehoiakim.
he turned himself into a beast of burden.
He turned himself into a beast of burden.
Oh my gosh.
And he also symbolized that he had aligned with Egypt to overthrow Rome. And with that, we are going to take another break, and we will come back to part 4.
Like, share.
Subscribe, put your comments below.
All right. Be right back.